Alrighty, folks, we are back. Let me tell you, it's been a fucking day. It has been a struggle. I got maybe 4 hours of sleep over the entire night. I didn't fall asleep until probably around 5:30 a.m. and woke up at about 9:30ish. And despite that, I woke up 2 or 3 times in those 4 hours. And I woke up completely drenched in sweat. Once again, I woke up with a massive headache. I woke up with a massive stomach ache. And just pretty much feeling like my body is falling apart. And if I didn't know any better, I would say, I'm sick, but I'm not. I know I'm not. This is exactly what I went through last time. My body is just fucking melting at the idea of having zero weed. And first comes the body, next comes the brain. Because, the physical symptoms, well, they're shit. Those are going to subside pretty quickly, I think. Maybe 3-4 days, a week max. The mental is where shit's going to get crazy. I'm experiencing some major highs, major lows. I started crying for no fucking reason 2 hours ago. Just felt bad. Felt a little depressed at my situation. A little depressed that I have to do this again. Disappointed in myself that I didn't commit to it the first time. I hate that I made the intentional decision to reset. I mean, I can act like, look at all my turkey friends. I can act like it wasn't intentional, that I was just trying to self-indulge a little bit and give myself a little bit of pleasure. But I know very well there are ways of seeking pleasure that are healthy and not going to trap me in a cycle of abuse and addiction. I just need to go about, finding those methods of distractions that are healthy, which is what I'm doing right now. I am recording this video as I am walking to my bus stop so I can go to my bouldering gym. Because if I don't go do this right now, I'm just going to spend the entire day feeling like garbage. And I don't want to do that. Because I do feel like garbage. My stomach still hurts. I have no appetite. Everything just feels off. And I'm sure my climbing today is going to be garbage. But the motivation to go out and do things and not just sit on my ass and be content is exactly why I'm doing this in the first place, So it feels like if I don't go out bouldering today, I'm failing myself. So I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go see how it happens. This is hour maybe 60 without weed. And it's not getting easier yet. Obviously it's not going to just suddenly get easier within 60 hours. In fact, it's probably going to get harder. If I have to go through more nights of no sleep and just feeling like garbage, it's going to start driving me insane. And that's where the mental's going to come into play, because as I get more sleep deprived and as I get more frustrated, I'm going to get angrier and I'm going to get more volatile. I'm just going to react in ways that I don't want to react. But I gotta realize that the reactions, the responses that I have without weed are just the natural responses that I would have otherwise, that perhaps I've been holding a lot of feelings in for so long. Any anger is just anger that I withheld and masked with marijuana for years. And, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be angry at people or at things in general. It's just how you go about approaching that anger, I don't really know what is going to come. I don't like being in a completely unpredictable, volatile mental state. But with time, predictability will occur, I think. I feel like it's going to reach a level of stability that I'm going to become content with. As long as I don't let myself do what I did last time and just start smoking weed all day, every day, once again, which is very likely because I haven't quite committed to the idea of just quitting weed altogether. Even though everything in my brain tells me that I should. It's better for my future, it's better for my health. But sometimes pleasure comes at the... I place pleasure up here and my health down here sometimes, even though deep down inside, that's not how it actually is, and it's not how I want it to be. But the idea of living a life without substances is just such a challenging one for me. Because, as I said in my last videos, I use substances to control everything. Dissociate, to make myself try and like myself, to be content with the situation I'm in life. But it's actually doing the opposite. It makes me anxious, it makes me non-responsive, it makes me lazy. Probably one of the reasons I don't have any fucking friends here. But, these are all things that I can actively set out to change. I don't have to be like this. I don't have to hate myself. I don't have to be an addict. I mean, it's not as simple as just stopping, as I'm experiencing right now. In fact, it's far from simple. It's fucking miserable, and I understand why a lot of people can't do it. Like, why would you want to put yourself through hell when you can just go and smoke some fucking weed and feel better, That's what I wish so badly I could have done last night when I just couldn't sleep. I was losing my fucking mind, and I'm like, I know back in my head that if I just smoked a bowl, I'd fall asleep and everything would be better. But then I'd wake up in the morning feeling, in 1 second. I would wake up in the morning feeling incredibly disappointed in myself and know that any progress that I think I had made in those 2 days are nullified. And I don't want to go through that. I've gone through that too many times, I'm just not sure what it's going to take for me to come to the conclusion that I need to quit, like permanently. The idea of never having weed again almost feels like losing a long friend, like, you ever have those friends from like childhood? Maybe you're like 6-7 years old, you're best friends, and then life does its thing and you disconnect and you just don't talk anymore. But 15-20 years later, you're like, I wonder how that friend's doing. Let's go check up on them. Let's send them a message. And, well, that's how I feel like my relationship with weed is, and to a little bit lesser extent. I want to go check up on him in like a month, even though I shouldn't, because if I do that, the chances of me just entering the same exact cycle I was just in is very high. I need to care about myself more. I need to care about my future more. I need to just understand that there is more to life than getting high all the time and trying to observe reality in a different capacity. Sometimes, the world can be good on its own, I'm gonna keep telling myself that and hope that it internalizes, because it's just gonna be a hellish few weeks for me. I'm not gonna feel good for a while. Eventually, hopefully I'll feel good, but it's gonna take time, and it's going to be a fucking struggle while it takes that time. Pardon the increase in noise coming up. I'm getting to a slightly busier road, but it shouldn't be too bad. The point being that you just gotta get up and do something. You gotta try. You can't just be content with laziness. You can't be content with doing nothing. You gotta try. If you don't try, what's the fucking point, man? I see too many people that don't want to put any motivation or push into their life, and they're sitting in through their 20s, rotting away, playing video games, smoking weed all day, working minimum wage ass jobs, setting their future up for nothing. And I can't be content with that. I can't let that be my future. I grew up in a very poor home. I grew up just constantly worried about the future, my housing security, my just general life security. And I need to make sure that's not my future, you know? I need to make sure that whoever's in my life, my family, my friends, that I am helping better them, helping motivate each other, and just looking forward, not backwards, or just figuring out the best way to live life, you know? Life is never gonna be fucking awesome. There's gonna be shit that sucks no matter what. But we can, every day, do something to actively change how we feel. You have every fucking second of the day, you can just do something to try and change your current state of mind. And I'm not talking drugs. I'm talking what I'm doing right now. I felt like shit, so I'm gonna go bouldering and try and make myself not feel like shit. Will it work? Maybe not. But I'm sure as hell gonna try, because if I don't, it's just a waste of my day. I can't just sit in my room all day fucking feeling depressed that I feel like shit. Like, it is just a cycle that is way too easy to get stuck into. It's a depressive trap. I've been in those depressive episodes, and I'm sure many of you have, where you don't want to leave your bed and you won't leave your bed. It becomes impossible to even rationalize doing simple tasks. And that is such a hard mindset to get out of once you let yourself get into that pattern. So here's to avoiding that pattern. By the way, I really hope these cars driving by aren't too loud. I just want to talk, man. I just want to let the world know how I feel. I want to let myself know how I feel, because this is not stuff I can talk to about with the people around me in life, you know? I'm very open with those people, but for some reason I feel more comfortable talking to the open abyss of YouTube, where random ass strangers are gonna see what I'm talking about, than I feel comfortable talking to the people I know and that I'm closest to. At least when it comes to something so personal and volatile such as addiction, mental health, my just general feelings in life. Talking to nobody about it just feels better somehow. Maybe because I don't have to worry about judgment. I don't have to worry about somebody telling me what to do, which I don't really take well. I just I deal with things my own way. I can't really take other people's input on the best path for me to do this, because I feel like I know the best path. I just need to commit to it and do it. That's exactly what I did with nicotine, and it worked. I can do it with this too. The hardest part is going to be figuring out how to tell myself that I need to quit, not just take a break. And I think in the coming days, you're going to see me running through the mental gymnastics of trying to figure out, is it worth quitting forever? Is it worth never touching weed again, even though I fucking love it? Half of my brain says yes, it's worth it. The other half says, why would you want to get rid of a treat that you really enjoy? You know, it's a two-sided conflict in my mind, and I'm not sure which one is going to win. But I got to take it one day at a time. And I hope you guys will take it one day at a time with me. Thank you.